Welcome to the final episode of our three-part series exploring the Res Forum's 2030 Vision Study. Today, we'll reflect on key findings, discuss actionable steps, and look ahead to how organizations can adapt and thrive in a rapidly changing global landscape. Join us as we wrap up this journey, drawing on the voices of industry leaders and the latest research to equip you for the road ahead.
I'd love to, David, hand this over to you to talk to us a little bit about the paper itself, what we can expect coming out in the next few months here, and call to action, the exciting events that you have planned for the readership.
Yep, 100%. One of the really, really rewarding things about this conversation has been the sheer expansiveness of it. It's took Soren and I to Asia. It's taken Soren and I around Europe. I'm super excited to be in New York on June the 9th for the NY Corp event in partnership with the Res Forum. For me, that's nice because it kind of completes the world tour, if you will. We're going to be producing a summary paper, which is going to start coming out in the following weeks. There's going to be the remote work paper summary first. And what we try to do, I feel like we can't capture every last opinion, and I wish we could, into one consolidated paper, but we've taken the best of the best and the best of the insights into the remote work paper, which will be published very shortly, so in Feb. Then we'll move on to consolidating the gig economy paper in March, and then we'll have the sustainable global careers paper coming along in April. And taking the remote work paper, for example, as with all of the Res Forum research, we try to put not just the insights gleaned and our thoughts and perspectives on it, but we try to give the readership a tool to use to first of all establish their own thoughts on a particular topic, and then to establish the basis for an honest conversation with their own organization, their peers and colleagues in HR, the broader business, their leadership. Take the remote work paper that's coming at the back of the paper. There's a really, really good kind of self-diagnostic framework, a scorecard for understanding how your organization is suited and set up to embrace remote work as a concept. And it looks at 5 dimensions: employee engagement, communication, top management support, digital maturity, which we know is quite an important one, and it's only going to accelerate, of course, with the continuing explosion of AI. And lastly, digital leadership skills. So, come along to the conversations, join in the debate, check out the papers, download, have a read, tell us what you think on social media, because, we'd love to hear. And of course, every debate that we've done on the topic informs and feeds into the next conversation on the topic. And again, use these scorecards for what they're intended, which is to help you establish your own position, and then from there to have an honest conversation with your organization.
That's great. Thank you. And Soren, anything from you? What have you found was valuable about participating in this? And you put so much work into this already, and you're going to continue this, being an advocate moving forward.
I think it's really important that we all think about the intentionality again and the outcome designed programs. I really, really love that outcome from this, because I think way, way too long, and you guys have both seen this like forever throughout your entire careers, we stick a policy in, this frames how we're going to do something. Absolutely. No one thinks about ROI really, or what we actually trying to do, to get out of this. If it's just bums on seats in whatever country, or that in oil and gas, we wanted to move people from the headquarters to the new location to, instill some values and what have you. That's quite an expensive way of doing that, right? But nonetheless, that's what they did. They moved people to the headquarters, moved them back out again, and so on and so forth. And if we can get to an outcome-led situation, this will be so valuable for employees and the companies at the same time, because some companies don't need huge amounts of office space, or like maybe they're only targeting quite senior individuals, sort of like that mid-career, who don't need to be in the office all the time, and they can be distributed worldwide. So design an actual workforce with that in mind. Don't make it a haphazard decision that sort of comes out later. I think the best thing any company can do is to actually have a workforce strategy and an expansion plan, an international location strategy to say, here we'll have people in the office. Here we can afford to have people in remote locations or whatever else. We'll use EORs, we'll use entities, whatever we'll do, but actually have some thought behind it. And it's very difficult sometimes to have the time to put into that. But I think if you can do that, you will have so much more success than doing it in a, in a sporadic, haphazard way. People will always say that they had thought behind it, but
Yeah.
I've seen too many. I've seen this movie too many times to believe that spiel anymore. So
I agree. So one last comment, if I may, just Soren and myself, having spent lots of time in in-house HR roles, we've all known those people. Maybe I've also failed myself in this as well. You write a policy because you jump on a trend and you tick the box and you try to roll it out and it doesn't land, it doesn't embed, and it doesn't necessarily end well. So I completely agree with Soren. What we try to do with this conversation is to kickstart a conversation amongst the global community and led by global mobility practitioners within their own organizations to think about the outcome first and then work back from that point rather than just looking at policies and mandates. And I would also throw in one final caveat, and it's not mine, but it was again a comment raised by someone in this is, don't forget the role that your provider ecosystem has to play in this whole debate as well. I think whether it be AI or whether it be about sustainable global careers, providers and, there's a certain power to a provider ecosystem over delivering on their part of this process and helping you achieve your goals rather than just looking at them as transactional, but look at them as strategic partners and have them heavily involved in finding that success once you've figured out what success looks like for your organization.
Absolutely. Well, great. Well said. Thank you very much. I think that this is a very important study. I'm very proud to have been one of the partners. This is very important for corporate mobility leaders to read. It's not too late. Of course, the study itself has been closed, but it's not too late to participate in the fact that when you do receive the results, you're going to hear it directly from corporate mobility leaders, what they said and how they felt about the future of mobility, and of course to participate in the conversation, the polite debate, as you will, and
Yeah.
and as Soren said several times, to be intentional. I really like that word. It's very important when it comes to mobility moving forward. So I'm looking forward to keeping the conversation going in the future. Please continue to participate, everyone, and looking forward to seeing the reports as they evolve and as they are distributed. So thank you very much and take care.